Hello students, welcome to Tronic Informatics. This is Jayanti Sharma. I'm your physics teacher and today we are going to study the chapter thermodynamics. So let's start. What are the contents for today? Introduction, thermal equilibrium and zeroth law of thermodynamics. Okay. So what is thermodynamics? As the word is defining thermo plus dynamics, thermo means heat and dynamics means motion, right? So the motion of heat. But this motion of heat now is just a part of thermodynamics. Then what is the key concept of the thermodynamics? The key concept is equivalency between work and heat. So let's take the example. Whenever heat is there, no, work will be getting done. And whenever work is getting done, no, heat will be there. The example is just start rubbing your hands. Start rubbing your hands. What you can observe? You can feel the heat between your palms, right? So now, when work was there, you were doing some work by rubbing your hands. Heat is there. Okay, work is getting converted into heat that you can feel. Now let's take another example. Steam engine. Steam is there which is getting produced with help of coal. Now this steam is help us to move the piston. And this piston in turn rotate the wheels. So steam engine will move. So work is getting done when steam is there, when heat is there. Okay. So these are the thermodynamics equivalence examples. So now thermodynamics deals with the transfer of energy from one place to another and from one form to another. Okay. Transfer of energy from one form to another form. Right. So now thermodynamics has three basic laws. First law of thermodynamics, second law of thermodynamics and zeroth law of thermodynamics. Okay. So now in mechanics what we usually do, we study the motion. And what was the cause of the motion? Force. We have studied the force causing the motion. So now in that what we have studied, no, that all we have studied the externally. The force was applying is the external system we have studied. But in thermodynamics, we'll study the system, or you can say the body, the internal changes in the system. What are the internal changes in the system? That what we are going to study in thermodynamics. So also that internal changes, no, we'll study at a macroscopic level, not at a microscopic level. Okay, so we won't move to that molecular level. Okay, we'll just be at the macroscopic properties. And what will be those macroscopic properties? Pressure, volume, temperature, mass, number of moles. These properties will study when heat is there. Okay, what are the changes in these properties because of heat, that we will study. So now let's come to the topic thermal equilibrium. What is thermal equilibrium? People usually say when there is no exchange of heat between the system and the surrounding, or between two systems, that time system will be at its thermal equilibrium. But what is the thermal equilibrium? System at its thermal equilibrium. What is thermal equilibrium? That we are going to study. Now first just let me compare the thermal equilibrium with the mechanical equilibrium. What we have studied in the mechanical equilibrium? In the mechanical equilibrium we have studied that net force and net torque, that will be zero. Okay, net force and net torque will be zero. At that time we say the object is at its mechanical equilibrium. But in thermal equilibrium, no, these internal properties, that 5 internal properties I have told you, pressure, volume, temperature, mass, number of moles, these 5 properties, when these properties are constant, at that time we say the system is at thermal equilibrium. We are not comparing this system with the second system, that there is exchange of heat or not, whatever is there. We are saying a system is at its thermal equilibrium when these 5 properties are at its constant. Okay, so now I have shown in the example, chamber is there, and this chamber is adiabatic chamber, that is non-conducting walls are there. Okay, so adiabatic walls. To the non-conducting walls we have given the name adiabatic walls. So there will be no exchange of anything. These walls are adiabatic, no exchange of heat. So now the gas in the chamber has pressure P, volume V, temperature T, mass M and number of moles N. And these values are not getting changed. These are at their constant. That's why we are saying the system is at a thermal equilibrium, right? And to this system we have named that system is a isolated system. It gets isolated from the surrounding. Okay, so that's why we say isolated system. Now let's take the another example. You can see in the picture these walls, now these blue color walls, these are adiabatic walls. Okay, these walls are adiabatic walls, and this is system A, this is system B. Pressure of system A, PA, volume VA, temperature TA, mass MA, number of moles Na. To system B, PB, TB, VB, MB and NB. Okay, so now will system be at its thermal equilibrium? Of course, the walls are adiabatic. Will system A at its thermal equilibrium? Yes, of course, the walls are adiabatic. Now tell me that will system A is at thermal equilibrium with system B? Can we say that system A is at thermal equilibrium with system B? Because what definition we have studied? Okay, it was written that temperature of A will be equal to temperature of B if the system are at thermal equilibrium. But it's not necessary. If temperature is T and that is TB, both the temperatures are constant, so that time we can say that system A is at thermal equilibrium with system B. Okay, so now let's take another example in which the wall is a conducting wall. To the conducting wall we use the word diathermal wall. So in this system, this is adiabatic walls, and two systems are there, A and B, and this system has a diathermal wall. Okay, diathermic wall. So now there can be exchange of heat. So heat will move to the system which has low temperature. From high temperature to low temperature the heat is moving. So how this heat is moving? Actually the system which is having the high temperature, that is TA, was at its high temperature. So the molecules will have high kinetic energy, and when they will strike with the conducting wall, they'll lose their energy, and the energy will be transferred to the molecules of chamber B. Okay, the energy is transferring from A to B through that conducting wall. So what is heat? Heat is a transfer of energy. Okay, so from here we can say heat is what? Heat is a transfer of energy basically. So heat is getting transferred, so molecules of B will start moving with a high speed, and this will be continued till the temperature become equal. Then in this time we can say the temperature of TA will be equal to temperature of TB. When these two temperatures are equal, at that time we say that now the system are at its thermal equilibrium, because after that there will be no change in the temperature. When temperatures become equal, the system, all the values become constant. There will be change in pressure and volume also. Okay, and then after they come to the equal temperatures, at that time they'll be called as thermal equilibrium. Both the system will be at their thermal equilibrium when TA is equals to TB, and this is the condition when the walls are diathermic walls. Okay, so now thermal equilibrium between two objects. When flow of heat stops, means the temperature become equal, then they are said to be in thermal equilibrium. This is the case when walls are conducting. But in adiabatic walls, I told you that is not the necessary case, that TA should be equals to TB. In that case, even if the TA is not equal to TB but system has their values constant, they will be said to be at thermal equilibrium. Okay, so now let's come to the other topic, zeroth law of thermodynamics. What is zeroth law of thermodynamics? So let's study with the help of an diagram. So now you can see there is system A, there is a system B and they are separated with the wall, and this is a adiabatic wall. So there can be no direct exchange of heat energy. Okay, so now these two systems are separated with help of a adiabatic wall, but these two systems are in contact with the other system, that is system C. Both the system are in contact with the third system, that is system C. So now there will be exchange of energy between B and C. There will be exchange in energy of A and C, like heat exchange will be there between B and C and C and A. So now temperature of A will be equal to temperature of C. Okay, because these, just a second, this have diathermic walls. These walls are diathermic, so heat can be exchanged, no? So temperature at thermal equilibrium, temperature A will be equal to temperature C, and at thermal equilibrium temperature B will be equal to temperature C. So now we can say that temperature A is equal to temperature B, right? When temperature A is equals to temperature C and temperature B is equals to temperature C, though we can say temperature A is equals to temperature B. So that's what we are saying. When two systems are at thermal equilibrium with the third system, then these two systems will also be at thermal equilibrium with each other. Okay, so now when two systems are separately in thermal equilibrium with the third system, that time these two systems will be at thermal equilibrium with each other. This is what zeroth law of thermodynamics basically says. Means there are two persons, 1 and 2, and they are friend with the third common person. So they have one mutual friends. So by the time they both become friends too. Okay, so 1 and 2, two persons have common friend, so they will be friends too. Like that. A and B, they were separated with the adiabatic wall. There were no exchange of heat between them. But there is a third system which was in contact with the both. So they exchange their energies. Okay, they exchange the heats. Now A and C are at same temperature. B and C are at same temperature, though we can say A and B are at same temperature. So there is thermal equilibrium between A and B. So this is what zeroth law of thermodynamics says. Let's say the second example. With the second figure you can understand. A and B, they were separated but within the contact of C. So now the heat exchange started. Heat exchange between A and C and B and C. So now at last, at conclusion, A and B, which were separated, they were at thermal equilibrium. Okay, so this is what zeroth law of thermodynamics says. So now we have studied what is thermodynamics. That is the equivalence between work and heat. Then we have understood what is thermal equilibrium. And third thing, zeroth law of thermodynamics. These all three topics we have covered today. So next we'll move to the first law and the second law of thermodynamics, and we'll understand heat. We'll study CV, CP, specific heats, okay, in the next class. So that's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.